Hey YouTube, back with a bunch of unboxings basically. Went to Harbor Freight and picked up a bunch of crap. So, wanted to show you what I got. Let's start with just doing a quick overview. Got this, let me take this out, give you a better look. It's a 5-drawer roller cabinet here. And it's the one that's typically sold for about 200 bucks. Had a coupon for, it's $169. What we got here is these grinding, or excuse me, wire wheel type things and wire brush kits, 10 bucks. Item number, that free screwdriver set, and these poly bins and rails. These organizer things. Got this cable tracker. This was 24 bucks. Used my 20% coupon on this one just because it won't work with this tool chest and it was the most expensive thing I didn't have a coupon for. What I'm going to use this for is trying to track down the wires on those outlets, so we'll do a review on how well this thing actually works. I have 2 of those poly bins, and I got another welding helmet to replace this one because, like a dumb shit, when I was in here spraying chassis saver on one of the projects that I did, I didn't cover anything up and got overspray all over everything, including my welding helmet. So I figured this was on sale. I had a coupon for this for $40, $39.99. So I figured I'd buy it. And I'll show you a comparison of the two. I also got this. It's a plastic shelving unit, 4-tier. It's not a very big unit, but I had a coupon for that and it was $12.99. So I actually bought 3 of those things. They seem stable enough. So I bought 2 for the kids for their room to just put their crap on so it's not on the floor, and 1 for me in the shop. We'll see. If I like it all, I'll buy more. So let's do a quick unboxing of these poly bins and the welding helmet, as well as this cable tracker. If you're interested in seeing the tool chest, cabinet, whatever, roller cart thing, check out my other videos. It'll be in there. Let's open this up first. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Comes in its own little case. They give you 2 9-volt batteries. Obviously not name brand or anything. You have your instructions. Nice little pouch right here for it to go in. This case actually feels pretty decent, to be honest, for Harbor Freight. Stitching all looks decent. Well, actually no, let me strike that. This should have been lock stitched right here to prevent that from falling apart. I have a sewing machine, so I'll fix that. But outside of that, you got the 2 alligator clips and the 1 phone jack. Yeah, that's it. You want to see a review on this, check my videos. I'm going to do a review on it while I'm trying to find where those outlets run to. So that'll be a later video. Actually, let me put these batteries in here. Let's get to the poly bins because they're open. I opened them, not Harbor Freight. I wanted to see how big they were. This is a very, very good deal. You get 20 of these things, and with the coupon I paid $7 for them. Okay, you know, $7 and you get 20. That means these things are cheaper than 50 cents a piece. You know, I didn't do the math on it, but I'm good enough at math to know that that's dirt cheap. If you go anywhere else on the internet and try to find these poly bins that'll actually hang and stack, you're going to pay the cheapest ones that I found. They were larger than this, but through Stanley makes them, and it was through Home Depot, but they're discontinued product, and I was lucky to get some of those. They're coming in the mail. But the next cheapest was like a little over $2 a piece for them. Granted, they're a little bit bigger, but you know, so what? I need the smaller ones. Let me show you. That's a pretty decent gap right there. The plastic feels good. You're not going to put a lot of weight in this because it's smaller. I have my measuring tape real quick. I'll measure this. Got the kid helping me. So inside dimensions, I don't know if you can see that, roughly 3 1/4. Inside dimension to the front lip, about 4 1/2. And deep, we're looking at 2 3/4. Okay. Outside dimension, lip to lip, 4 inches. Okay. The depth of it, lip to lip, 5 inches. What I plan on doing, this supposedly has the little hanger bracket here. I'm not going to use it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build me a workbench, and I'm going to use, I wanted to go check these out in the store today and see how big this gap was, because I'm going to buy some flat bar, some real thin flat bar. Either that, or I might just do some of the metal I got in here, some of the 16 gauge steel I've got in here. But I'll probably just order some flat bar. I got to measure this gap, find out exactly what it is and what it can comfortably stretch to, and then find out what thicknesses of flat bar I can get. If whatever you're using, you don't just want something grabbing here. You need something that'll back up against this. If you don't have anything that'll support the weight right here, it's going to swing back like this and dump everything you have out of there. I plan on using this for just electrical fittings, you know, the little butt joints and, you know, the little eyelet connectors and stuff like that. So it's not going to hold very much weight. Plastic feels good. It's not super high quality, but for what I plan on using it for, it's plenty fine. If you're looking for stuff, for heavy stuff like nuts and bolts, this could probably hold, you know, in one of those larger packets of nuts. Let me see here. Give me that small red box right there. Here's a box of, these are roofing nails. I mean, it doesn't fit into the box, but you know, the weight on that, plenty strong enough to hold a box like this of roofing nails. So I think pretty much whatever you can fit in here is going to be plenty strong enough. But if you're dealing with like larger bolts and stuff like that, you know, these are going to be too small for you anyways. So let's dig all these out. Actually, let me get a couple of them together, because some of you guys aren't looking to hang them, you're just looking to stack them. If that's the case, I'd probably buy a different brand. They stack. They're stacked right now. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah. But I can tell you right now, unless there's heavy crap in there, I got bigger hands. That's going to be a royal pain in the ass to get stuff out of there. I'm not going to have them that close. When I hang them, they're going to be spread out like this. You know, like I said, I got bigger hands. I don't want to be fucking around trying to squeeze my hand into this little tiny slot to get things out of there. As far as the fitment is concerned, it's not that great stacked. You could very easily do that number and fall down and then have a mess all over your bench. So if you're looking for stackable ones, I think there's better option for you out there. There's some that'll slide together and lock together like that. But I plan on hanging these. If you plan on hanging them, these should do the trick. These tabs right here feel plenty strong enough. Yeah, I think they'll work just fine. So dig them all out of here and find the hangers. Okay, so here's the hangers. They're obviously plastic. I don't know, they might not be too bad. These are a little bit different than the the hangers I've normally seen. Reason being is these have all these screw attachments or pop rivets or however you intend on attaching this to whatever you're doing. With all those screws, this should be actually probably plenty strong enough, I would say. My only concern would be this, and it, you know, I guess it's really not that bad. It supports it. You have all these tabs here that'll help support it wherever it's at on this. There's not any gap there that's too large for it, and I actually think, now that I'm looking at this, you're supposed to hang one on each section like that. So it keeps it from sliding back and forth. And you have two of these posts here to support the weight. Again, I actually don't think that's too bad. I might end up using these. We'll see. So for the $7 that I paid for them, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was well worth the money. So if you're interested in getting these things, don't be scared to. I think they're worth it. I'm not going to bother opening this. Oh, you know what? I am going to. Just not right now. Not going to bother opening this. These are the cheap Harbor Freight screwdrivers. They give them away free all the time with your purchase. Don't ever buy this shit. They're junk, but they're screwdrivers and they're free, and I'll use them. Cut this out. Okay, let's get to the helmet. If you guys are familiar with this Harbor Freight blue helmet, there's not a lot different between these two other than finish. You get your instruction book here. I don't need it. I weld. I already know what this helmet's about. You get an extra, I believe it's extra, yeah. You get an extra lens, the face lens. Make sure you're always using this. If you don't use it, you'll damage your screen. So you get the extra one. Peel this off. For those that don't know, these are the adjustments. You press down and then turn it. Okay, I got a big head, so I got to loosen it up pretty far. If you got a big head and you're looking for a big head helmet, these will work. If I was wearing a ball cap, I'd be extra large. So, and that's the right fitting for me. So you also have this adjustment here at the top. It's almost at full adjustment. I don't need to adjust it. It's fine for me right there. This also has, as I put fingerprints all over it, also has a protective lens here as well. So the reason why I bought this is because I've had this one for a long time now, and it still works. And I could have easily gone out and replaced these plastic lenses, and they do have some extra lenses for the front. But this adjustment here is getting a little bit annoying. This pad here is getting disgusting. And I went and put a bunch of chassis saver overspray all over the top of it, and I don't know. I was like, $40, it's a new helmet, it's nicer. Now I got an extra if I'm teaching somebody how to weld or they're giving me a hand or whatever. The one thing I will say about this one that I love is the finish. This blue helmet, these flames are really shitty stickers. It looks really cheap. It looks, I don't know, it looks junk to me. The helmet themselves is the same exact piece of plastic, okay? But this has got the finish on this is so much better. It's actual paint, you know, and it looks nice. You know, so if you're looking for a cheap, nice looking helmet, and I know you are, because all of us that have welding helmets see all the cool helmets out there, and we're looking for the cool one. This is probably one of the coolest looking ones that you're going to get for $40, and it works fine. So as far as sensitivity or shades, you go from a 9 shade, and it's not a click adjustment, it's variable all the way to 13. I weld at 10. You have a low and a high sensitivity in here, and a delay time, slow and fast. You got your sensors here, your 2 sensors, and and it's solar. Like I said, I've had this one, the blue one, I don't know, man, probably about 7 years, 6 or 7 years now. And at one point I had it just stashed in a box, and I couldn't get it to work, and after just leaving it out for a while, it started working again. So I don't know how good the batteries are inside of these things, but it was good. It's been good enough to last me, 6, 7 years. So it's working right out of the box too. I'm happy with it. I actually really like it. So if you're interested in them, go get them. If you want to see what it looks like for yourself, just open the box up in Harbor Freight. That's what I did. They're not going to say nothing. So, anyways, dang it. Let me see this. Okay. So, as far as this wire brush kit, wire wheel kit, wooden handle wire brush. Bristles are nice and strong. They're not too spread out. I mean, it could be a little bit more dense as far as how many bristles are on there. Definitely a decent wire brush. I could use this on my barbecue or whatever. This will be an extra one because I've got a couple already. I believe these are just arbor adapters, I guess. I'm kind of taking a risk with this because I've never used any of these before, and I have an angle grinder, and I'm trying a 4.5-inch angle grinder, and because I've never used these before, I'm not sure if they work on it. So we're getting ready to find out. I believe that just screws on where you normally have the nut that holds your grinding discs on. I believe. We'll see. That's what I'm hoping for. So here's my trusty piece of shit skill angle grinder. I still haven't got wrenches for my Makita that I bought, used. So this is the one I need right away. Cross your fingers, and it looks like the threads might be wrong. Oh, you know what? I've got bullshit on the threads. I forgot. And it works. Awesome. And that's how they work. Just screw it on there. This spins this way, it tightens up the other way, so you really don't even need a wrench to tighten it up. Just the way this spins normally, it'll tighten itself up. So that's awesome. I was unsure about that. Now I'm not. I will tell you this: if you're using any of these ones that are twisted like this, centrifugal force will naturally try to spread this out. This is a 4-inch. This is a 4.5-inch angle grinder. If I was using a 4.5-inch wire wheel that's knotted like this, and I had the guard on it, there's a good chance this is going to hit the guard. Centrifugal force is going to try to spread these things out, and it's going to get larger. So take the guard off, use safety goggles, make sure you don't jack your eyes up. So same thing with this, fits, awesome, I'm happy. It's exactly what I needed. As far as these are concerned, yeah, they're just adapters. So if you're putting them on a smaller grinder or whatever, it'll be an adapter to put it on there. So I'm happy. And if you're interested in the tool chest, check out my other videos. Oh, you know what? Let me do the unboxing of that shelf real quick before I end this. Okay, as far as the plastic is concerned, you know, it's like Rubbermaid type garbage, you know. You're probably not going to put a ton of weight on here, but I would say that these can actually hold a fairly decent amount of weight. As far as the size of the shelves, actual usable space, we're talking about 1 foot by 23 inches, or excuse me, yeah, 23 inches. So if you're measuring between the posts, you're dealing with roughly 20.5 by 8 3/4. So let's get this put together real quick. There's a lot of this crap, the extra stuff from the mold, the molding process. Make sure you can see what's going on here. Okay, so this seems to be the better way to do it. Put your posts in first, then put the top piece. Is that pushing it? These are crooked as fuck. The legs are a little bit crooked. It doesn't really matter, it'll straighten out. Yeah, those aren't supposed to be down. Those are looking at the top. Oh, okay. I put this together wrong. I guess I got the posts upside down. So, it's actually not, yeah, it is a big deal. Here, let me just take this back apart. We'll do this right this time. That's why you're supposed to read the instructions first. Taking this apart, let's put it back together at the same time. Give me one of those. So this is going to be the bottom here. This end goes in here, and that, I'm assuming it's supposed to fit in that hole there. There it goes. Hold that. These feet are very, very, very tight fit, but that's not a bad thing because that means they're not going to fall apart very easily. I could always try to deburr the ends, but I don't want to. I'm lazy. Not only am I lazy, that's not the whole reason. The other reason is because those burrs will help it to make it a tighter fit. That. Okay, now you got all these little caps. Just push in here. And technically, if you wanted to buy another one of these, I mean, technically, you could probably buy like 3 sets and make one of them extra tall. Because they're obviously modular, so you can make them as tall or short as you want to. As far as its height, fully assembled height is 52 inches. The height between the shelves is 14.5 inches. So, no weight on it other than my hand. You know, it's not super duper sturdy, but it's definitely strong enough. You put some weight on here and this thing isn't going to move very much. I'm happy with it. 12 bucks, you know, or $13 plus tax. I don't think you can beat it. Like I said, it's as quality as any other plastic shelving piece of crap I've ever bought before. So, and it's dirt cheap. I'd buy it again and probably will. So, okay, that's pretty much it. Check out my other videos if you're interested in seeing the cart assembly and any other of my reviews or projects that I'm working on. Subscribe, comment, like. Head down to the description. First link will be to my Facebook page. Go like that. If you do anything else, go like my Facebook page. That's the most important. I'll have links to each and every one of these products that I bought down there. So you can, if you're interested in buying them, you can go to just click on the link. It'll take you straight to the Harbor Freight site where they're at. And if you're interested in seeing the review on the wire tracker, definitely check out my videos. That one's probably not going to be up tonight, but you'll probably see this, you know, I don't know, you won't see it as soon as I upload it, more than likely. So just check out the videos and you'll see it in there. Alright, subscribe, comment, like, talk to you later.